So guys, there have been a lot of reactions going on as a result of the military general that was executed by ISWAP. Now see how this person is reacting to it. He said, few days ago, ISWAP, a faction of Boko Haram, attacked a military convoy, killing 4 soldiers and capturing a Brigadier General Mohammed Uba. The Nigerian army denied the story, stating the general returned safe. However, the general did not return safe. He initially escaped and made some calls, but he was recaptured by the terrorists and murdered. ISWAP has now released a confirmation that they killed the general, and this is now public knowledge. A few things that are very worrying here. Number one, the Nigerian authorities playing politics with the life of a Brigadier General of the army. They lie. The lying, denier, refuser to be honest with the public. The clear fact that there is likely to be a mole and informants within the army that informed the terrorists of the general's location after his initial escape. This further confirms what a lot of current and retired army officers have said, that there are a lot of compromised soldiers within the Nigerian army that work with Boko Haram and ISWAP. In this case, a Nigerian Brigadier General has been murdered by bloodthirsty terrorists, most likely from intel received from a complicit Nigerian soldier who is an undercover agent for the terrorists. This is the highest ranking Nigerian army official ever kidnapped and slaughtered by Islamic terrorists. This is really appalling. This is sad. And this is a huge disgrace to the whole country. May the soul of the 4 soldiers and the General Uba rest in peace. The Nigerian media will not report this because the Nigerian government has completely gagged and silenced them. So he went ahead to tag Ted Cruz and also tag Rep Raimo. Now you can see this headline here. It says ISWAP captures and executes Brigadier General Mohammed Uba in Borno ambush. And also here you can see the moment ISWAP confirmed that they have killed him. You can see the inscription there, the Islamic inscription. These are all evidence that they've killed the Brigadier General. So guys, in case you don't know, 25 schoolgirls were kidnapped, abducted from a secondary school, a Christian secondary school. Like we've been told that environment is a Christian environment. They kidnapped 25 schoolgirls and their whereabouts is still unknown to Nigerians. And then they went ahead to buy this Brigadier General. We are also hearing that in Zamfara State, there were a lot of buying of people. And then in Kaduna State, a Reverend Father lost his brother. The Reverend Father was also kidnapped. Like you can see here, it says, bandit abducts Catholic priest, several residents in southern Kaduna kill cleric's brother. So they abducted this young Reverend Father and also killed his brother and abducted other residents alongside. Nigerians, northern Nigeria is boiling. When you speak, they say you shouldn't talk. The level of insecurity under the Tinubu's government is unbelievable. Guess what? Shetima was spotted in Kogi State receiving defectors, people who are leaving their parties for the APC. He was receiving defectors into the APC. So guys, a whole lot is happening. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.
Learning, with officials of Kebbi State government confirming a terrorist attack on Maga Comprehensive Girls Secondary School, where an unspecified number of female students have been abducted. So the chief press secretary to Kebbi State Governor Ahmed Idris confirmed the attack, while also saying that the details are still somewhat ambiguous as of now. But here's what we know. The state deputy governor, Umar Tafida, has led a team of government officials to the scene of the crime, while sources report that a staff of the school was killed and some even sustained different injuries as the terrorists got into the school and shot sporadically. So we'll definitely follow that story, you know, as we progress throughout the day. But as we talk about insecurity, we start what's trending today with the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV, publicly naming Nigeria as a country where Christians face frequent attacks. The Pope made these comments on his X profile, but he also addressed a crowd after the Angelus prayer yesterday overlooking St. Peter's Square. And that's where the Pope used his platform to voice his concern with Nigeria. So these comments come amid what's really become international scrutiny of Nigeria after US President Donald Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern over an alleged Christian genocide. He also threatened military intervention, as we know, but let's see what the Pope had to say.
Anche oggi in diverse parti del mondo i cristiani subiscono discriminazioni e persecuzioni. Penso in particolare a Bangladesh, Nigeria, Mozambico, Sudan e altri paesi, dai quali giungono spesso notizie di attacchi a comunità e luoghi di culto.
So those comments from the Pope came as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu this weekend sent a peace emissary, Dr. Abiodun Essia, to Plateau State to, in the administration's words, bring a sense of calm and push for intercommunal harmony. The announcement came on a post on X from the Special Advisor to the President on Information, Bayo Onanuga, on Sunday, where he stated in part that Essia met with Christian clerics and Fulani Mieti Allah community leaders. Delegates, traditional rulers, and more, all of them gathered to discuss ways to strengthen peace and promote the coexistence of diverse communities. She also paid a courtesy visit to Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo. This is someone who's been really outspoken about the killings in Plateau and other parts of the North Central. The pastor has repeatedly said that Christians are being terrorized and persecuted in northern Nigeria, and videos of Dachomo, like this latest one that you're seeing on your screens, or at burial sites of mass graves, have all gone viral on social media. So all of this is happening as different members of the Nigerian government, to this day, they're still repeatedly denying these U.S. allegations of a Christian genocide. But the U.S. House of Representatives is getting ready to hold open public hearings on President Trump's designation of Nigeria as a particular concern starting this Thursday. So, this story has somewhat taken on a new layer given the fact that we're hearing from the Pope on this as well. And Rufai, since you're sitting next to me, I'll start with you. If we take all of these stories along with that breaking news of, these female students getting kidnapped, how should we be thinking about the Pope and just insecurity in Nigeria overall?
I just pray we're able to get the girls back. But it reminds me of Chibok. It reminds me of Dapchi. God knows where Leah Sharibu is. But you see, the painful thing is that those that advocated for Leah Sharibu are the ones with the talking points today against Christian genocide. You can see how people become hypocritical and they use the plight of people for their own political benefits in this country. And may God visit them. May God visit their conscience and ask them questions. I think this move by the federal government is misplaced. And I say that. You are not showing any intention of solving the problem. You are sending your governmental aides to go and say there's no Christian genocide. And at the same time, you send somebody to Plateau to talk to Dachomo. Your governmental aide had a fallout with Piers Morgan. We are still waiting to see that interview. The world knows that there's Christian genocide in Nigeria. I've quoted Jim Shannon. There are many other reports. In fact, this Congress that is going to start its proceedings on Thursday, regards country of particular, there was a Catholic priest that went there, I think about a year ago, that Oji played the video where he went to give evidence as regards what's happening. So you can see the massive level of insecurity, but the government is not ready. If they are ready, they will release the list of terrorist financiers. Dubai shared that list with us in the last administration. But you see, for the sake of politics, they will never. The likes of Shegumi keeps running around and saying all sorts, peeing on the graves of people that died. People keep getting kidnapped and killed, but the government thinks the way to go about it is propaganda. I'm happy that Fox News is now also beaming the light on Samuel Jackson's case. The man that in defense of himself killed a bandit or terrorist, and he was taken to court. Blasphemy laws exist in Nigeria, and some governmental ministers are saying that no, we respect religious freedom, but blasphemy laws exist in Nigeria. I'm happy that the Pope has said it. Till today, the other time when this happened, President Tinubu said, oh, he's going to get ambassadors. Maybe they are going to get this, I don't know. So you can see that the government reaction, like they will always do, is to deflect. But deflection does not solve the problem. Look at an APC chieftain, Makiri, that was killed recently. All of those things show that the government is not ready to solve the problem. Army, I'm sad to announce to you that many years after, we'll still be talking about this thing because government is not ready, and they've shown it.
And, you know, to your point, speaking of security or insecurity, let's head over to Katsina State now, where shocking new footage appears to show a number of armed bandits on motorcycles and bicycles storming the Kankia local government area of the state. So in this video posted on Saturday, a group of bandits ride into an open area as gunshots can literally be heard firing into the air, as no security presence is there to counter them or protect residents. Let's take a look at the video, then discuss it. So we're seeing that video as new photos were also released on social media as evidence of a peace deal struck between bandit groups and community stakeholders in that local government area, as well as two others. So in photos shared on Saturday on Dan Katsina's X page, his caption states that negotiations ended with a mutual commitment to stopping the attacks in the affected areas, which have brought some sense of hope for a more stable security environment, allegedly. But this peace deal has raised questions about what that peace deal might look like in neighboring local government areas, especially in Kano State. Interestingly, it's often believed that the de-escalation of violence in one area can have a ripple effect, pushing the violence instead onto another area in close proximity. And I'll come to you on this. I mean, that video, it's just the brazenness of the attack, how just, you know, they're completely out in the open and no one's around to stop it.
So the stories we've taken this morning show clearly that we have a deep insecurity problem in Nigeria, and it's an inherited problem. It didn't start with this administration. The only challenge is that previous administrations have not been able to deal with it. Going back to the last story around how we even negotiate with bandits, that has been criticized heavily by, you know, in different quarters. If you're talking about, you say, well, we negotiated with, or we gave amnesty to people like Niger Delta militants and all that. These people had an ideology. There was a cause for their violence. What is the ideology of the bandits? That they are criminals? Very soon we'll be negotiating with kidnappers and thieves. We'll be asking them to come to a round table to let us talk as to how we can appease them so that they don't steal our look at the brazenness of their attack, and the fact that they have no respect for security operatives. So it's either one, the security operatives at this point can be accused of being in collusion with them, whereby they are aware or they are compromised, because there's no way that we have security apparatus in Nigeria and this brazen show in broad daylight is happening. So it's either one, we begin to interrogate whether or not the security operatives have been compromised. The second part of it is that we are just unable to, we don't have capacity for this. And that's why some Nigerians are saying, let the US come. Because if we've not been able to deal with this problem for so long, then maybe we need external help from people who have capacity to help us. But at the crux of it is the fact that we need to deal with this incessant insecurity that's plaguing across all Nigeria. And I want to speak about the Kebbi girls. It is sad that despite all the campaigns that have happened, you know, we've talked about other kidnappings that have happened in the past, and now when we're really talking insecurities on the front burner, it's almost a slap on the face of the government to see in the Northwest another case of kidnapping in a school. We've had the Safe School Initiative. What happened to that? We've had interventions following kidnappings. What happened to that? It means that the government is admitting through this incident that they are unable to tackle the situation. And that's one of the primary responsibilities of government, to ensure security of lives and property. Finally, on Christian genocide, I'll just say this one point, that with Dr. Esiet going to Plateau State, I said it was a good move because we need to deal with this kinetically and non-kinetically, but it's also an admission that the government was too hasty in responding to the claims of Christian genocide without even an investigation first to speak to community leaders. So their reaction, first of all, knee-jerk was deny, say it's okay, then go back to NAS, okay, come together, let us talk to you and ask. Should that not have been done first before they went on to deny that it was happening in the first place?
And, you know, as we talk about security in schools, I want to take our next story from Abuja now, where a new video has sparked widespread reactions after being posted on Friday. Here's why. It shows the students' parents, Mr. and Mrs. Balogun, at Starville School in Abuja, slapping a teacher known as Mr. Etim. So this attack happened after Mr. Etim said that their son in year 8 pushed him twice, which led to him slapping the teacher, or slapping the boy, in retaliation. So in this video, Mr. and Mrs. Balogun quickly become violent with that teacher. Let's take a look.
Slap you now. For you to slap my boy, do you know that that's you raise my children? Are you stupid?
Mr. Nakundo, I would have also recorded, but I'm not recording, so you will drop.
You slap my boy.
Leave my phone, madam. Leave my phone. Leave my phone.
I will leave it.
Let him beat you.
Let him beat him.
Beat you very much. I want to see the video of when he beats my own son. What nonsense? Let him beat you. Let him beat you.
How dare you touch my child? How dare you? How dare you? You can slap me. Yes, I slapped him too. You don't have to be your public.
And, you know, Dr. Abati, this video has sparked reactions online about a teacher's responsibility, disciplinary action in schools, and also the roles of parents in schools. The Educare CEO, Alex Onia, followed up on this incident and reported that this student has now been expelled, and the parents have been permanently banned, as you know, from the school as well and online.
Very good.
Some have said that the teacher should have never slapped the student, even if the student pushed him. But, you know, violence in schools between teachers and students, we've done stories like this before, but this video is shocking.
Okay, this is not new, but there are many views, many dimensions. There's a traditional view holding that, look, students are, you know, in schools and teachers are in local parentage, and part of the purpose of bringing up a child is for teachers standing in local parentage to help to discipline children, particularly when they are involved in any form of misdemeanor. That's the origin of the phrase, spare the rod and spoil the child. So traditionally, many parents will hand over their wards to teachers to help train them very well. But that view has since changed over the years. This is not the first incident. I recall an incident in the 80s, I think at a school called ISI, where a parent took thugs to the school to go and beat up a teacher who had disciplined their child. And now over the years, we have had similar examples. Now, there is a law called Child Rights Act 2003. Under the Child Rights Act 2003, all forms of cruelty or harshness or violence involving children, is not, they are not allowed. However, in some parts of the law, if you check the criminal code, if you check the penal code, to flog a child, cane a child, slap a child is not considered a crime. However, in some states of the North, since this incident occurred in the North, the caning of children is banned in many of the states because, the situation in the North, about over 10 million children out of school. The assumption is that if you keep applying corporal punishment, then the students will be discouraged.
Come to school,
but the other leg of it, whether it's in the North or the South, is about parenting, the attitude of parents. This particular case is that of Mr. and Mrs. Balogun. Mr. and Mrs. Balogun went to the school physically to beat up a teacher who had slapped their child. And look at what the child did. He pushed the teacher should a student push the teacher? That in itself is an act of violence, which will raise questions about parental upbringing. Many parents in this country have abdicated responsibility. They are absentee parents. They are children that are brought up on a Western menu. Expatriate children whose values do not even exist. And
so guys, there is another headline here on the social media that says lawmakers, US lawmakers, we know terrorists abducted Nigerian girls' school in Christian enclave in Kebbi. US is already sending warning that terrorists abducted in a Christian environment in Nigeria. The US is saying. So guys, this is just like what we have in Chibok girls. Chibok girls abduction. This person here say this US lawmaker comment shows how wrong their data are. Imagine calling MAGA Christian enclave where they are 90% Muslims. And this person say, why are these fools lying? Must they push the false agenda of Christian genocide? The killing and kidnapping are general and national issue. If you ask Nigerian government, they deny it. But it's only media, so they can't. This government hand is tied by the chairman of bandits government. US lawmakers, you don't wait else again days. Why Nigeria are just looking at you with no CIA asset is here. I don't know what's wrong with our intelligence unit special. Anyway, these Nigerians are reacting to the United States coming to say that they are sure that the area where the bandits kidnapped these school girls is a Christian environment. But some people are saying it's not a Christian environment, that it's more like a Muslim dominated area, which I cannot verify. I'm not from that environment. But we know people who attend this boarding school most times are Christians, with just like the Chibok girls, they go to this dormitory and just kidnap them. They are mostly Christians, especially in states where you have Muslims and Christians. Like Kebbi is one of those states that has many Christians. You have Gombe, you have Taraba, you have Nasarawa, you have even all those middle belts and some northern states from the northeast. So Nigerians believe that possibly majority of these children are Christians, and we know that Christians pursue more of this educational pursuit. So guys, but let me know what you think of what is happening in the country. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.